make comments about physics.
Mark's son is smiling at me.
They know that you did something wrong.
Now, I'm glad to hear all the talk. I was worried that we didn't get much reading done over the weekend, because reading articles on your own, it's a bit more challenging to set up than planning to read with a chapter book. Right? In a chapter book, you can say, all right, we're going to read until page 110. But with the articles, they're all a different page length. There are many of them. So one of the things we do today is plan on how to kind of divide up that workload and choose a reasonable amount to work on each night. So, as we get into these articles, one of the challenges is it's a lot to remember. Right? It's a lot to remember. And every article is a little bit different. Some of the articles are kind of the same. So what we do today is something we should do with every article, because one reason is, the main reason, is because it's a reading strategy for nonfiction. Right? Identifying a central idea and then the main ideas that support it, something we got to do all the time. One of the side effects of thinking that way is that you remember more of your articles. It helps you remember them and kind of package the information in a tight compartment that you can keep for later when you have to write about the research you're doing or share that information with your group. So that's what we're going to practice today. Okay? So our goal is to go through the steps to write good summaries. All right. Now, writing a summary is a skill that you will use the rest of your academic life. Okay? Forever. You can ask all your teachers. They'll probably tell you that if they go back to their notebooks from university or high school, they're full of summaries. Because as the volume of reading goes up, you need to remember. Right? And writing a summary is a good way to do that. So if you look at our charts up here, I got the steps kind of laid out for you right there. Mark, can you read the first one right there? And then look at that chart there. Create a brief summary of the text. Read the first one.
Ask what's the author's central idea.
Okay. So, ask what's the author's central idea. So we know the central idea is the main thing that the author wants to teach us. Right? So we're going to practice. I have a copy of the article for you here. Take one and pass it around. I'm going to read the article to you, the beginning of it, and you're going to write, you're going to highlight, underline, whatever it is. You're looking for the central idea. And I'm reading the same part that we did from Friday. Take one, pass it around. Have a pen or pencil ready because I want you to underline. You're going to keep this. CJ, stop.
Thank you.
So what you're doing, as I read, okay, you're going to follow along with me, and your goal is to find a central idea. Thank you. And I'm going to skip some. We read all of this on Friday. So I'm going to skip the first two paragraphs about I'm going to skip the first two paragraphs about the demonstrations. Okay, I'm going to start with paragraph 3. GMOs are organisms. Okay, so So I'm going to read a bit. Your job is to think about a central idea. What's the author trying to teach us? Okay. GMOs are organisms whose DNA has been combined with a gene from an unrelated species to produce a desired trait. Some crops are genetically modified to survive herbicide sprays that kill weeds. Others are engineered to be more nutritious. A pink pineapple awaiting U.S. government approval has the same antioxidant that makes tomatoes red and may help prevent cancer. In November, the U.S. Food and Drug Administration approved the first genetically modified animal, a salmon engineered to grow to market size in about half the time as a regular salmon. But GMOs haven't been very popular lately. Only 37% of Americans think they're safe to eat, according to the Pew Research Center. McDonald's recently refused to use a new genetically modified potato that produces less of a cancerous-causing chemical when fried. Chipotle dropped GMOs from its U.S. offerings, and General Mills stopped using GMOs in original Cheerios after a year-long campaign by environmentalists. While some see GMOs as frankenfoods that hurt the environment and us, others see them as the most promising solution to feeding the world's population, which is expected to skyrocket from 7 billion today to 10 billion by 2050. The government agencies regulating GMOs in the U.S. say they're safe, but some scientists and consumers argue that GMOs have been around long enough for us to know their long-term health effects. Okay, I'm going to stop here. I want you to turn and talk and tell your partner what you think the central idea is. So what's the author's central idea? Okay, what's the main thing that the author is trying to teach us in this article? Tell each other, what do you think? What's the central idea?
Some say that there's, I think the main idea is that people are there are unsure whether GMOs they're debating about no offense.
All right. So how many of you said GMOs can be harmful? How many of you had that in your answer? GMOs can be harmful.
People like turn into zombies after 80 years of eating GMOs.
Yeah.
You never know.
Some of you had this in there, right?
Many people are harmful.
What about this? How many of you had this there? Some think GMOs can solve world hunger, and many people think they're harmful.
Yes.
How many of you shared something like this? Now, is this a central idea?
Maybe. For this part, for the part that we read.
Well, if you look up there, see the second light bulb? It says determine main ideas that support the central idea. What you guys found were the main ideas. Now, for the central idea, I have to step kind of beyond the text a bit, out of the text a little bit, and say, hey, this author is trying to teach us that people feel very different about GMOs. Okay? So can you see how what you did, it wasn't, you didn't do anything wrong. Right? You're going in there and you're looking at the paragraphs and you're saying the main idea of this paragraph or this section is that GMOs have a lot of potential, could save a lot of people, help solve this problem of world hunger. The population of the world is growing. In the other part, we see that we don't know the long-term effects. They may hurt us and the environment. Okay, so they're the main ideas that we've come across so far. But the big thing that the author is teaching us is that there is this difference of opinion. And if we go back to the title, the battle. Right? When I think battle axe. Right? Armor. Blood. Okay, so the author is trying to show us that there are two sides. Two strong sides. Right? That this is, people have different ideas. Okay? So, let's think about what we've done. We started with what's the central idea? What's the author's, what's the big thing they want to teach us? And then what are the main ideas that support that central idea? 12 minutes. It goes so fast, doesn't it?
Okay, bye.
Okay,
Okay, thank you. Okay, bye. Oh, new trend?
Yeah.
New trend. Okay, bye is from
Now, here's the next step. Because now we have the central idea and main ideas. Okay? If I were to add details to this, where would they go? If you think of this as like a hierarchy of the article, like an outline of the article, right? The details would go in here. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. You may know this as bullets and box, right? Boxes and bullets, something like that. You're familiar with? All those techniques are to help you understand the structure of an article. And which idea is the big one, and then which ones support that, and then what are the details that support that, right? But to help us bring this all together, we need to practice writing a summary statement, right? A short paragraph, right, about this article. So what I want you to do now is called writing in the air. So this is our central idea. These are the main ideas. Tell it to your partner. Tell your partner, or summarize for your partner, what this is about. So right now, choose who is A and who is B. Quickly. Who's A and who's B? A, raise your hand. All right, now A, you have, I had 12 minutes. A, listen, you guys stop. Whatever you're doing, stop. Okay, A, you've got 20 seconds to tell your partner what this is about. You ready to go?
What?
Yeah, you got to summarize this article, what we've read so far. You've got 20 seconds to do it. Are you ready? Ready, set, go.
So the this what we read is about GMOs. That's third. Saying that they are harmful, and others saying that they can solve the world hunger, and they're
Stop now. How many of you didn't finish? A few of you? All right. Now, partner B. You've got 10 seconds.
What? Oh, wait, you tricky.
So you've got 10, you're going to do the same thing. You're going to summarize the article, except you have 10 seconds to do it, not 20. Ready? Go. Okay. Now, what I hope happened there is that partner B was able to kind of trim out anything that wasn't on the board, right? Because it's not essential in our summary. Remember, the summary is a shortened version of the original, right? It's not your opinion. It's not anything extra or very specific. It's a shortened version. So what I would say is the author teaches that people feel differently about GMOs. She explains that many people think they're harmful to us and the environment, but also says that GMOs can end world hunger. And that's it. So this is something I would write in I would stick in the article, right? Kind of like I do here. Or something I would write in my notebook. And if my article was very long, if it was several pages, I might write a summary for every section and not for the whole article, right? But I do this to help me categorize the content in my head and organize it in a structure that's meaningful, right? So I know, on the left is the central idea, and then there are main ideas, and then there are specific details that support the main ideas, and the main ideas support the central idea, right? So it's like a hierarchy. You're familiar with this? Like if you click in your MacBook, you go in Finder, right? And you click Downloads, and then maybe you got folders and downloads, or in Google Drive, right? You have 2019, 2020, that's like the big idea. And then you have all your classes, they're the main ideas. And then you open up those classes and you have assignments and work, they're like the details. Right? That's what your head needs to do when you read a new article. Right? You need to organize that information, and then you use that summary writing to wrap it up in a nice little box so that you remember it, and it's there when you need to go back and know what the article's about without reading the whole thing. That's what I'd like to see you do today. Okay? But I want you to start off, when you get back to your groups, the first thing I want you to do is create a Google Doc where you can track and plan the articles you're going to read every day. That's your first job. So today, you make sure you sit with your group, right? Not across the room with your group members, right? Sit together. Yes?
Do we do Google Docs or Google Sheets?
Whatever's easy for you. Share with me. Make sure I'm one of the people you share it with.
Do we have to share it with our group?
Yes. Because you want to know what other people are reading as well. That's how we're going to hold people accountable.
Is one group reading all sheet?
Yes, one group per document or sheet.
Oh.
Ready to go? Make sure you sit together.
Everybody. Everybody.